In the heart of the Grand Line, aboard the Polar Tang, Trafalgar D. Waterlaw stood at the helm, his gaze fixed on the endless horizon. The wind tousled his dark hair, and his eyes, sharp and calculating, reflected the sea's restless depths. His white coat, emblazoned with his Jolly Roger, the heart pirate symbol, billowed behind him as his ship cut through the waves. He had seen many battles, endured loss, and forged fragile alliances, but today, something felt different. The destination was Onigashima, Kaido's stronghold. The Straw Hat Pirates, led by Monkey D. Luffy, were already engaged in battle with the Beast Pirates. Law's role in this alliance, fragile as it was, meant he had a responsibility to see this through. Not because he wanted the title of Pirate King like Luffy, but because he had his own vendetta against the tyrants who had long oppressed the world. Doflamingo had fallen. That was a victory Law savored, but it was not the end of his journey. Not until the twisted world system, the one that had destroyed his home of Flevance, was brought down. As long as the celestial dragons reigned, as long as injustice flowed through the veins of the world government, Law could never rest.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more great content. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and feel free to share this video with your friends. See you in the next one.
But in this war against Kaido, he wasn't just fighting for revenge. He had started to believe in something bigger. Luffy's relentless optimism, his unwavering belief in freedom, had stirred something inside Law, something he hadn't felt since his time with Corazon. That sense of hope, long buried under layers of anger and bitterness, had begun to resurface. "Captain," came Bepo's voice, his first mate and loyal companion. "We're nearing the island." Law snapped out of his thoughts and nodded. "Prepare the crew. We're going in." As the Polar Tang submerged beneath the surface, Law's mind was already mapping out the battlefield. His tactical mind, sharp as ever, was his greatest weapon, apart from his Ope no Mi, the devil fruit that gave him the ability to manipulate the very space around him. He wouldn't charge in recklessly like Luffy or Zoro. He would strike with precision, find the weak points, and dismantle Kaido's forces from within. Moments later, the submarine surfaced at the edge of Onigashima, where the battle raged in the distance. Explosions echoed from the massive Skull Fortress, and the sky was lit with flashes of Haki and Devil Fruit powers. Law leaped from the ship, landing soundlessly on the rocky shore. His sword, Kikoku, gleamed ominously in his hand. With a flick of his wrist, he activated his room, a transparent sphere of control that allowed him to manipulate anything within it. He surveyed the chaos ahead, beast pirates swarming, straw hats pushing forward, and Kaido's titanic figure clashing with Luffy in the skies above. Law's target was clear, the Tobarapo, Kaido's elite officers. Taking them down would weaken Kaido's forces significantly. But first he had to get close. He moved swiftly, using his room to teleport himself and his crewmates through the battlefield, avoiding unnecessary skirmishes. As he appeared amidst a group of enemies, the familiar sound of his technique echoed in the air. Shambles. In an instant, he switched places with a nearby beast pirate, confusing the others. Before they could react, Law slashed through them with surgical precision. He didn't waste time. Every move was calculated, every strike deliberate. His mind was always 3 steps ahead, anticipating the enemy's reactions. But then, a towering figure blocked his path, one of the Tobarapo, ex-Drake. The former marine-turned-pirate stared down at Law, his massive axe glinting in the dim light of the battlefield. "Law," Drake growled. "I knew you'd come." Law narrowed his eyes. He had fought alongside Drake before, during their alliance in Wano, but this was war, and alliances shifted like the tides. He tightened his grip on Kikoku. "Drake," Law responded coolly. "I don't have time for you." Drake smirked, his reptilian features sharpening as he shifted into his full Allosaurus form. "You'll make time." With a roar, Drake charged, but Law was ready. He expanded his room, creating a massive sphere that enveloped both of them. With a flick of his fingers, Law swapped Drake's axe with a rock, throwing the giant dinosaur off balance. Countershock. Law's hand crackled with electricity as he thrust it into Drake's chest, sending a powerful shockwave through the enemy's body. Drake staggered, but he wasn't done yet. As the two clashed, Law's mind wandered briefly to his past. To Corazon, the man who had sacrificed everything to save him. Corazon had given him the will to live, the hope to fight for a better world. Law couldn't let his memory die in vain. With a final surge of energy, Law slashed through Drake's defenses and knocked him to the ground. He didn't waste time gloating. There were still more enemies to defeat, and Kaido's reign had to end today. Law raised his hand, eyes blazing with determination. Room. His next target was clear. He had to get to Kaido's command center and disrupt their operations from within. He wouldn't defeat the Emperor alone, but he could tip the scales. As he disappeared in a flash of blue light, Law's heart beat with a singular thought. This war wasn't just about revenge anymore. It was about justice. It was about freeing the world from the grip of tyrants, no matter the cost. And Trafalgar D. Water Law was willing to pay that cost, even if it meant his life.